Welcome to the Tech Today podcast. It's your host, John Maeda. So over the years, you've heard me talk about and write about M&A, given that that's my background. I love M&A as a strategic tool for driving revenue growth, profitability, and shareholder value. More recently, I've started to talk about tax-free spinoffs. I wrote about an example with AutoZone. So AutoZone owns a company called AllData. AllData is a company I was interested in acquiring about a dozen years ago. So AllData is a software company, and software companies typically carry a higher valuation multiple than do retail businesses like AutoZone. So in the article I wrote, I talked about if AutoZone wanted to unlock value, it could do a tax-free spinoff of AllData. And in doing so, you would have a dedicated management team at AllData, which it does now, but now you have a management team that's where it's no longer inside of the parent company, and where this management team is now a publicly traded entity, engaging with shareholders, hosting earnings calls. That tends to sort of ignite the creative fire in a management team, being publicly accountable. And so I think by having AllData as a separately traded entity with its own management team that reports to shareholders, you would sort of ignite a creative fire in the management team. So I would bet that you would see AllData get more creative in terms of new product offerings, creative in ways to enhance existing products, enhance the service delivery system. I don't know what the opportunities are. Top of mind. I'm not close to the company. Um, Maybe there's an opportunity to create analytics, predictive analytics, reporting capability. AllData has all sorts of transaction data inherent in its database. And with that, you could glean some really interesting insight with analytics and things like this. Anyway, you would unleash creative forces that could help drive revenue growth, accelerate revenue growth, and drive profitability. So operationally, there's a reason for spinning a company out. And then in terms of the tax-free spinoff, the way that works is you create the new legal entity. It's a publicly traded company. And the shares in that company are distributed to the existing shares, in this case, in this example, the existing shareholders of AllData, pro rata. So it's a really simple structure. And why I like tax-free, as the old saying goes, is why make the government a partner of yours if you don't have to, right? So this would be a strictly a stock transaction, there would be no tax repercussions. So it's a beautiful tax shelter from that standpoint. So I'll try to give more examples of companies that I think could benefit from tax-free spinoffs. I'll try to give some specific examples in the coming weeks, but generally speaking, these would be companies where they have a business, like the example of AllData, where it's a discrete business, it's different from the rest of the company, or it could be a company that has sort of a holding company structure. If you think of Berkshire Hathaway as an example, clearly they prefer the existing strategy, but a company like that's a holding company where the business units are large enough to be separately traded public companies, if the holding company wished, those are the type of companies that are ideal for publicly traded spinoffs, tax-free spinoffs being the preferred methodology. GE is another one, right? So when Larry Culp took over, maybe it would have made sense to, he thinned out corporate. If you really want to thin out corporate and operate a decentralized management model, which I believe is the most efficient management model, holding the business units accountable. If you really want to hold people accountable and really want to drive results and really want to optimize, or in this case, maximize the decentralized management model, then go the spinoff route. and specifically the tax-free spinoff route. That's all for now. See you next time.